Hey everybody, that's Lauren and I'm Russ, and we make up the Infectious Groove music channel where we are always talking about all sorts of different topics and whatnot. But I always say this all the time. One of our favorite things is when somebody writes in and gives us a suggestion for a video. I am absent-minded enough to where a lot of times I will go, someone suggested this, and I feel bad because I don't remember when we go shoot the video.
Yep.
This particular one, our friend Dave from the Beer in Front channel. So if you like beer and good people, go check out his channel. It's connected to our channel, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. But for the beer lovers, then by all means check out Dave's channel, Beer in Front. But he gave us this suggestion, which if I'm being honest, I immediately passed to Lauren because I was like, that is too hard. I'm not going to be able to narrow this down. We actually have a lot of people leave comments and they're like, why only 5? And it's like, just so we can, we can say, here's 5 good ones. And you can say to us, like, hey, that person wouldn't have made my list, or that song wouldn't have made my list. But like, we get a lot of people go, oh, if it was only 10, I would have included these. Great.
Yep.
You know, so having said that, the subject that we were given for this video and why I did not want to do this myself is 5 backing vocalists that are great. And I will say, I probably would have picked all 5 of these.
Great, good. Well, it makes me feel good, like I know what I'm doing.
No, right.
The first one that I want to talk about is Mike Mills from REM. I feel like if you took his backing vocals out of any REM song at all, it loses something absolutely essential.
So it's interesting that you say that. You have somebody else, I'm not going to spoil it, but you have somebody else in this lineup that I feel like is 50% of the vocals for that band, at least, right? And Michael Stipe for REM has a very distinctive voice.
Yep.
I'm not saying that if you ever were walking through a store and you heard Stand or Orange Crush and the Michael Mills vocal was missing, you wouldn't be like, oh, this is terrible, right? Because Michael Stipe's a great singer.
Right.
But I would also argue Mike Mills is 40% of the sound of our, maybe not 50, but 40% of the sound.
Yeah, he's enough that you miss him if he was gone.
Yeah, so in my opinion, you're talking about, a lot of people would look at this guy as like a plain Jane singer, but he brings that much to the table. You know, so great way to kick it off. I think the next one on your list is one that most people, was such a monster, I hate saying was, such a monster on his instrument that I don't think people realize what he did vocally.
Oh, absolutely. And we're talking about Taylor Hawkins from Foo Fighters. And if you watch any live performance of the Foo Fighters doing anything, Taylor Hawkins was back there doing his thing on the drums, but also
perfect harmony
with Dave Grohl. And I think that says a lot, especially kind of knowing that the Foo Fighters started out as a thing that Dave just kind of did himself.
Right.
And then for Taylor to come in and be like, hold on.
Yeah, we share a brain.
Right.
Yeah.
And I watched several live performances while I was putting this together, and I was like, he was like right there. Dave didn't even have to look at him, cue him to do anything. It was just like, they're on the same wavelength.
I know you're talking about backing vocals, but 2 times Dave Taylor did lead vocals that I like a lot. One is from their Wembley performance when Paige and Paul Jones came out and they did Rock and Roll.
Okay.
And Taylor got to sing on that.
That's very cool.
He sings awesome on it. And then I don't know how often he did it, but a lot of times he would do Under Pressure. He would come out from the drum kit and do Under Pressure. And he was great on that. But like Lauren is saying, though, think of your favorite Foo Fighters song. Just look up a live version from, 2015 or before, and you will be surprised by how much work Taylor Hawkins is doing vocally. This next one, I think, is as good or better of a singer than the lead singer of the group itself.
Yeah, I was going to say Richie Sambora, Bon Jovi. I mean, you have definitely opened my eyes to a lot of Richie solo stuff, and it's like, man, he can sing, and I feel like, he gets overlooked a lot when people talk about Bon Jovi, and I don't think he should.
Especially over the past decade, where they seem to have forgotten that he was a big part of the band. Yeah. But at the time of the shooting of this video, apparently there's going to be a reunion soon, anyways. But yeah, Richie is killer, and again, not to keep doing the whole but you should hear him sing lead. But if you've ever wondered like what Richie brings to the table, go on YouTube and look for like "I'll Be There for You," but sung by Richie.
Oh yeah.
And it's like Richie absolutely destroys his former boss on the vocals on it. So in my opinion, I think Richie is like, again, I wouldn't say he's 40% of the sound for Bon Jovi. John's very distinctive up front, but like you also wouldn't have those great high harmonies over anything without Richie there.
That's right.
Yeah. Now the next one is the one that I think the person you're going to mention is easily 50% of the sound of this band. And they've switched quote unquote lead vocalists due to the fact that we lost the original one. but the most of the sound is still the same because you have this guy.
Yeah, Jerry Cantrell, Alice in Chains. Yeah, and it's one of those things that again, very kind of like-minded, just harmonies happening so in tandem that you almost don't notice until you notice.
Yeah, the example for that for me is like when I first really got into Alice in Chains, No Excuses was a big hit, like with that kind of drew me into them. And I don't know why, but like the first, I don't know, 5 or 10 times that I heard it, I just didn't even think about, like I could hear the harmony, of course, but I didn't think about the fact that like most of the song is in harmony. And then like one day I heard like that line that says, well, you're drowning in it too. Like I was like, oh, that was a unique harmony. I was like, wait a minute, this whole damn song's been in harmony, you know? Now the next one, we don't do a lot of insulting on this channel. If this isn't on everyone's list as far as backing vocals, I would question your music fandom. Yeah.
Of course, Michael Anthony, Van Halen. I would argue that the only one... Okay, how do I put this in a way that makes sense? I think Michael Anthony's consistent backing vocals made the bridge from David Lee Roth to Sammy Hagar okay for a lot of people.
No, I would agree
because
with that.
like, there's something still familiar happening, even though the lead vocalist changed.
Yeah.
He's just so steady and just so there, and you know, to the point where I even like Chickenfoot because it's Sammy Hagar with Michael Anthony backing him up. It's like this is comfortable. This makes sense.
I know a lot of people like that. Like we were just talking about this recently. Like I haven't put near as much time into Chickenfoot as I should personally. I have nothing against it. I just haven't. It's 20 years later. I still haven't got around to it. But I know people who are the same way as you that were like, yeah, but Michael Anthony's there too. Though, you know, like it's more than just a Sammy thing. But yeah, I think Michael Anthony is. You know, let me say this. I think with his backing vocals, he's not 50% of the sound, but he's more than 25% of the sound.
Sure, yeah,
you know,
very important.
Yeah, I got some Scott Steiner math going on here. But yeah, I think this guy should be in the first several people mentioned.
It's true.
Speaking of mentioning people, like I said at the top of the video, we're always like, you know, hey, we just throw 5 out there. Let us know what some of your favorite backing vocalists are. Maybe some people like that you would go, oh, how did they not mention this guy? Or if you disagree with any of ours, let us know why. You know, that's fine too. If you're in any sort of music groups around social media or Discord or anything, share out the video because that helps the channel grow. Drop a like. That helps us grow as well. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.